being here today. Before moving forward, let me have a brief introduction on St. Joseph College Autonomous Iringalakuda and IPSR Solutions Limited. St. Joseph College, Iringalakuda, located in the Thrissur district of Kerala, is the first women's college in Kerala founded in 1964. It is an autonomous college affiliated to the University of Calicut and managed by St. Joseph Educational Society of the Congregation of Holy Family. The college is NAC re-accredited in the third cycle at A level in 2013 and was awarded autonomy in March 2016. Again, in 2016, UGC granted the college the status of college with potential for excellence. IPSR Solutions Limited, led by a team of prominent academicians and entrepreneurs, is a public limited IT company with 20 plus years of expertise in software product development, training services, and digital marketing services. The IT Service Division of IPSR is a pioneer in the development of academic solution products. We provide software applications that help to manage academic and operational activities like question paper generation, campus automation, accreditation process like NAC, NBA, outcome-based education, etc. The training division of IPSR renders corporate training, job-oriented training, faculty development programs, add-on courses, etc. in the education, IT and ITES domain. And we are the world's leading Red Hat training and certification partner with 37 national and international awards. Our placement division has 1,500 plus placement tie-up companies and conducts recruitment on all days. We are also happy to announce that we are providing a free internship program in digital marketing, which is exclusively for ongoing campus students, known as Yuva Atmanirbhar project. It is a self-reliance program for students through which students can equip themselves with self-sustainable skills on online platforms. Now, to give you all a brief introduction on St. Joseph College, Iringalakuda, let me welcome Miss Ambli Jacob, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Saliha. A warm good evening to one and all. We are so happy to see you all on this online platform for the National Hackathon. We are very proud to announce you that St. Joseph's Autonomous College, Iringalakuda is the first arts and science college conducting a national level hackathon. We are one of the toppest college in Kerala with 5 PhD programs, 15 postgraduate programs, 16 undergraduate programs, and 5 vocational programs. We secured 74th rank in All India survey among science colleges. Computer Science Department offering BCA, MSc Computer Science, MSc Data Analytics, and BWork Software Development Program. We are very glad to inform you that St. Joseph College is the first college offering MSc Data Analytics in Kerala. The department has a number of functional MOU with leading software companies like TCS, Red Hat, etc. This helps our students to get a better career in well-reputed companies. Department secured 100% result for PG courses from the first batch onwards. All of our students have publications in various reputed journals like IJCRT, IJERT, and the International Journals of Computer Science and Engineering, etc. Before I conclude, wishing you good luck for the hackathon and thanks to IPSR Solutions for jointly organizing this event along with St. Joseph's College Autonomous Iringalakuda. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ambili. So guys, stay focused on this session as we cover more information and details about hackathon contest, and I hope all of you have received the mail regarding the competition link. If you have not received, kindly check your spam or promotion folders or check your all mail with the keyword IPSR. Again, if the mail is not received, maybe your registered email ID can be wrong. In that case, you can send us back a mail with your concern to the mail ID hackathon@ipsrsolutions.com. After checking your eligibility, we will be sending you the participation link. So, to give you an insight on what is code optimization, let me introduce the resource person, Ms. Deepa Sreekumar. She is a MSc Computer Science holder, OCAJP Star Certified Python programmer, and also heading Software Training Division of IPSR. I welcome you, Ms. Deepa, and over to you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Saliha. Good evening, all. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Deepa. I'm working as the team lead for IPSR Solutions Limited in the training division. Okay. So as you are going to do the hackathon tomorrow, and I wish I believe all of you are prepared for it, right? So you will be using any technology like you can use any technology like Java or C Sharp or C++, okay, or even Python, okay, to do the coding. Okay, so I'm not giving you the instructions for the hackathon now, but let me tell you one thing. If you write the code, okay, and when we evaluate it, when you write the code, after writing the code, you will get the result. I mean, how whether it passed all the um test cases and all, you will get the result then itself after you submit the code. But the final decision or the final evaluation will be done by us. Okay, we will check the code and after that only we will announce the winners. So while we check the code, we consider the code optimization or the code what you have written. Okay, we will check for the code optimization also whether your code is an optimized code. So first you should know what is code optimization, right? Okay, so if you have any doubts in between, you can ask me. I'm just telling you some points which makes your code more optimized. Okay, so as you know, we can write a code, right? If you get a program statement, you can write that code in a number of ways, isn't it? And in each language, there will be some built-in functions or there can be some built-in, what to say, the data structures, everything will be there. So which makes your code unique? Okay, which makes your code unique, or what is the how to define that or how to decide that your code is a best code? Okay, so many students will be writing the correct code from among them. So we have to select the best codes. So for that, one of the marking criteria is the code optimization. So it's not like whether you get the output. It is not enough to get the output, but write the code in a perfect way. That is what we need. Okay. In this session, we will be discussing about what is code optimization, then what are the advantages of doing the code optimization, then code optimization, some tips I will give you, and also about the Python code. Okay, so code optimization, maybe all of you may heard about this word, right? Code optimization, always write the optimized code, isn't it? So may I ask you one question? What is your idea in code optimization? What is code optimization? You can place your answers in chat box.
New St. Joseph admission
I think.
ஏன் எதுலயோ பண்ற நீ வாய் முன்னி
just
போறியா
I was saying,
ஃபர்ஸ்ட்
you know.
போ வாய் முன்னி.
Okay, fine tuning the code. Okay, I'm getting some answers.
Shall I end the poll or shall we wait 2 more minutes? Only 80%, 20% people it's not there.
Okay.
Only 80% students are participated. Still 2 more minutes. I will give.
Okay, tune code to perform the task using minimal resources. Yes, minimum time and space complexity. That's correct. Okay, so these are the code optimization results, isn't it? So how to do the code optimization, or some tips about the code optimization which we expect in this code in this hackathon. Okay, so code optimization, it will be the method of code modification to improve code quality and efficiency, right? So it should take less memory, then what, execute more rapidly, or performs fewer input or output operations. Then what, it should increase the speed, isn't it? The code should execute very fastly. Okay, it should take very low CPU time. Okay, so like that, all these are concluded into one word, that is code optimization. So what are the advantages? The better code readability, then what, rapid execution, the execution speed is increased, then consume less resources or memory. So these are the advantages of making our code an optimized code. Okay. So what are the code optimization? Some of the techniques, okay? These are not only the only techniques we can do for code optimization, but some simple steps which we can take to make our code optimized. Okay, so the compile time evaluation, then common sub expression elimination, dead code elimination, code movement, then strength reduction. So let's talk about the compiler. Okay, so the compile time evaluation, that means you know what is compiler, right? The compiler will compile the code or compile the programming language code into the machine language. So when you run the code, only that machine language is being run, isn't it? The code which is converted to the machine language, only that will be run. So what we need to do to make our code a code optimization or optimized code, we should make the compiler do the most of the work, or during the compilation time itself, most of the statements should be evaluated. Okay, so the load of the runtime will be less. So how can you make like that, or how can you do the compiler do the work mostly? Okay, so these are two different techniques which we can apply to do the compilation, do the performance much, or do most of the evaluations during the compilation time. Okay, so one is constant folding and the other one is constant propagation. So let's see what is constant folding. So you all are familiar with this, but we may be not familiar with the term that is constant folding, right? So from this example itself, you can understand what do you mean by this constant folding. It's not that much a very big thing, but a smaller one, but you can understand from this, right? Usually we know that the circumference of the circle, we calculate it as pi times diameter, isn't it? So 2 pi r, that is the equation to find the circumference of the circle. So there the pi is a constant, isn't it? Pi is a constant. So for the pi, we know that the value of pi is what? 22/7. So better understanding of the code, or you may be writing like pi, to show that this is the pi value and it is taken like 22/7, we will be writing the code like this, 22/7 times diameter. But instead what we can write, because this statement is evaluated, right? This statement needs to be evaluated. If you give like this, you are evaluating this one at the runtime. But what we can do, we can replace that evaluation code with this constant itself, that is 3.14. So there is no need to execute one extra work, isn't it? We can avoid one extra work during the runtime. To find the value of 22 by 7, we know it's always 3.14. It will never change, right? So we can just place 3.14 in case of 22 by 7 to avoid an unwanted execution during the runtime. Okay, so this type of replacements, it is called the constant faulting. Okay, then constant propagation. So constant propagation means you will be declaring the variables, then assigning some fixed values or final values to these variables, that constants to the variables, and then the variable names will be used in the evaluation, I mean the statements. So what happens if you give the statement like this, pi equal to 3.14, and here the radius is also given as a constant like 10, like 10. Okay, and the area of circle you are writing is like pi into radius. So what happens here at runtime, the values of these variables needs to be replaced and then evaluate the statement, right? And then execute the statement. Why to do this much, or why to give this much work to the runtime? No need, isn't it? Why should we waste the CPU time? Because this statement we can evaluate then itself, like 3.14 into 10 into 10. So what can we do? We can just replace it with the value that is 314. Okay, this is just an example. Don't think that this is the actual thing, but to make you understand, I just took a simple example. Okay, is my sharing stopped?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So constant propagation is that one. Okay, no need to declare this many variables. Then after that, make the runtime to replace the values for the what the variables, and then do the evaluation. Okay, we can just give the direct values if it is possible. Then the next one is common sub-expression evaluation. Okay, this one many times we can see this thing happens. Okay, because we will be writing the code in a flow, and we may forget, like the statement is already executed in the previous code or somewhere. So this is the common thing which happens in our coding. Okay, see here, this is it is explained with a simple example. So you can see the variable C, it has the value which is the sum of A and B, and some statements are that D equal to 1. Then after some time you are giving like E equal to A plus B. So again, what you are doing, the A and B's values are not changed at all, isn't it? So the same statement which is evaluated already or which is executed already, the same statement you are trying to execute again and assigning it to a different variable, isn't it? So we can avoid that, isn't it? We can write it only once, and once it is evaluated, the result is available in C. So wherever you want it, you can just assign it like E equal to C. Okay, so maybe this here maybe we need one more variable to have the same value, that maybe because of that we are doing E equal to C. Okay, so here the statement which is executed already and the result is already available with this, why should we do it again? Okay, we could use it, and maybe there is some reason that we can't reuse C here. Maybe you have to make some changes to the variable C, and before that you are trying to preserve the value for C in E. Okay, we can think like that. Okay, this is just a simple example. Then next one is chord movement. Okay, chord movement, it is mostly related to the loops and all. Okay, So loops, the loops will cause more CPU time always, isn't it? Because the loops are executed in a complex way, not in a complex way, but always checking the condition, then doing the modification, then again execute the loop, again check the condition. So much time, so many times the condition checking and also the modification part is done there. Okay, so also that many times all the statements which we write inside the loop will be executed. So there may be some statements, if there is any statement which need not be a part of the loop is written inside the loop, we have to remove it. Why? Because here, if you check in this one, this x equal to y plus z, it does not have any or it does not play any role which is related to the loop, isn't it? Here you can see the variable, the loop variable is j, and this loop variable is there only in this equation, like a of j equal to 6 times j, isn't it? So what happens here? This x equal to y plus z, that is an unwanted code to be included in the loop, because always it is evaluating to the same value. You are using the same constants there. I mean the variables y plus z, and the value of y plus z is not at all changed anywhere, and you are executing the statements simply. Okay, suppose the value of n is 100 times the same statement is executed without any use, right? Because the x equal to y plus z, that is the same thing always. Okay, no change in that value happens there, isn't it? So we can avoid that. Why to give an overload to the runtime, isn't it? So what we can do, we can move that code out of the loop. So whenever you write the loop, make sure that only the required statements are there inside the loop. If any constant statements, any constant evaluations are like this, you can move the statement out of the loop. Okay, and also giving the output like system.out.println, that is in Java. So giving the output, directly printing the output inside the loop, we can avoid it. Okay, we can avoid it, and you can do it outside the loop. If it is needed, like that many times the output should be there, it's okay, you can write it, but don't write it. Or what we can do is, we can just instead of writing the print statements, what you can do, you can give all the outputs to concatenate all the outputs to a string, and that string can be printed only once, isn't it? So we have to minimize the code, that is, we minimize the input and output statements. Okay, because it takes more CPU time, okay, to read the input and to output. So we have to access the output resource, isn't it? The output device, we have to access it, we have to go to that particular stream and then print it. So it's better if you avoid the printing statements directly from the loop. Okay, so these are some tips we can discuss. Then another example of code movement, you see here in this while loop, it is given like the I should be up to limit -2, isn't it? So the limit can be any value like 10, 20, like that, but it should be, I should be 2 values less than limit. That is the meaning here, we can understand. So why should we do like this? We can make the statement that is limit -2, that is we can move it outside the loop, right? We can we can do it only once, and the result is stored to t, and here what we can do, I is less than or equal to t. Okay, so the subtraction operation, there is no need to repeat the subtraction operation all the times when the while condition is checked. Okay, we can move that subtraction operation outside the loop. Okay, so this is called the code movement. Okay, then next is dead code elimination. Mostly this will be done like the unreachable code will be highlighted by the IDE itself. Most IDEs are doing that, but if you're just using any text editor or any other editors which are not giving any code suggestions and all, then you can do this also, that is dead code elimination. Here it is easily understandable, that is after the return statement this b equal to 2 will never execute, isn't it, because the function has the return statement before that. So once the control is gone from the function, it will never come back and do the b equal to 2, that statement will never execute, isn't it? So that is an unreachable code. So most of the IDEs, most of the modern IDEs, they have the ability to to highlight or to suggest or to identify the unreachable code, and they will give you the message then itself. All the warnings will be there, isn't it? The warnings will be given like these are the unreachable code. So we can eliminate it. Okay, just eliminate all the unreachable codes. That is called the dead code. Some codes will never execute, so that type of code is called the dead code. And there are many tools like the coverage tools and all we can use to check how much code or how much percentage of our statements are actually used in the program. Okay, which all statements are not used, like that coverage tools and all are available in most of the IDEs. So you can use that to make sure that the statements which you wrote are always executed at least once. If there are any statements which never executes, it will be highlighted. If you use the coverage tools and all, then you can eliminate those statements. Okay. Then next is strength reduction. So strength reduction means some operations will take more CPU time. Okay, for example, if you do an integer addition and integer multiplication, actually the multiplication is implemented as addition itself, isn't it? So multiplication will take more CPU time. But if you check why the multiplication is taking more CPU time, you can see many answers or many discussions on that. So some of the discussions, they say that if it is real numbers that has both the integer part and the real part and all, the real numbers addition or subtraction, that is the arithmetic of real numbers, the multiplication takes lesser time than the addition. Okay, but in case of integers, the normal numbers, okay, multiplication takes more time. Multiplication takes more time than addition. So if you have a statement like this, a times 2, this is we can replace it like a plus a. But if it is a into 50, it is not good to write a plus a like 50 times. It's not good, right? That will be writing a into 50 is better. Okay, so it depends on how many times. Okay, how many times, and also whether it will be feasible or whether it will be better to write as an addition part or the multiplication. Okay, depends on the number of times also. I'm not saying always it is better, but it depends on the number of times you need to do the multiplication also. Okay, then next is loop unrolling. As I told you before, the loop statements are somewhat complicated for the CPU. I mean for the runtimes, okay? Because it has to do the checking always. It has to do the modification. That checking is done always many times, right? So instead, you can see that this loop is executed only 3 times. So why can't we write it like this? Okay, if you write it like this, we can save the time. Like anyway, you are doing all these things like I is less than like I plus plus. You are always integer I equal to 0. That initialization you have to do anyway. Then what the color map n plus I equal to I, that also you need to do all the times. Then I plus plus also you need to do all the times. So what is extra here? I is less than 3. A checking is extra here, right? So since it is only 3 times, why can't we repeat it 3 times like this? So we can avoid the unwanted checking, right? The checking time, or at least that checking time can be what can be saved, isn't it? So it is just since it is only 3 loops, that's why we can write it like this. If the number of times you want to repeat it is very big, then you should not write it like this. Okay, it is if it is 3 or 5 like that, or 3 to 4 statements, then we can write it like this. And also it depends on how many statements you want to execute in the loop. Since it is here, it is only one statement. That's why we can write it very simply like this. Okay, so it depends on, so everything is having the positive part and also the negative part. So always think whether it will be feasible or not, and then take your decision. Okay, then okay, so that is about the common things I want to discuss. Then next is just for the Python code, because most of the students are maybe you will be using Python code to do tomorrow's hackathon, because you know Python is the most popular now, and also the code is very easier to write, and also the number of codes can be less, right? So many of the students maybe, okay, maybe you will you may prefer the Python to write tomorrow's code. So I just give you some suggestions on that, some tips on that. Like always use the built-in functions. Okay, many built-in functions are available in Python. So if you're dealing with any string handling codes, or if you're dealing with any math related codes and all, always use the built-in functions. Okay, never write the entire thing again and again. So for example, the very simple example, to find the factorial also, we have the function, isn't it? Why should we write the loop and make the factorial? To find the factorial, why should we write the loop? Okay, we can directly use the factorial function from the math library, isn't it? So like that, be aware what are the libraries, or which are the most popular libraries, and how can we make use of it, which are the built-in functions available, so that you can reuse the code. They all are compiled, already compiled code, and also we can make use of it, and we can reduce the CPU, I mean the runtime. Okay, use always, if you're sorting something, always use the keys for sorting. This is for keys, you know, keys will be always unique, right? So the sorting time will be, we can reduce the sorting time. Okay, then next is multiple assignment that you may be aware of. Like to swap the variables, we can use the multiple assignment statement in Python. Okay, like a comma b equal to b comma a, like that we can directly do the swapping, isn't it? So if in any of the codes, if you want to do the swapping of the variables, directly use the multiple assignment statement. Local variables are more preferred, because you know in Python the local variables are like for all the variables there will be the namespace, right? So local variables are retrieved faster than the global variables. For global, first they will check only in the local namespace, then go for the global, right? So local variable retrieval will be faster than the global variable. So wherever you can use the variable that is local variables, then use it like that. Okay, use it locally. Okay, try to avoid the use of global keyword. Okay, global, if it is needed, or if it cannot be avoided, then only use the global variables. Otherwise, always try to use the local variables in functions and all. Okay, so that's the main tips I want to discuss with you today. And for tomorrow's hackathon, as I told you, you can use any programming language. Like we are going to set it like Python, then C Sharp, C++, then what, Java. Yeah, these are the languages you can use. Okay, so if if it is possible, which is your preferred language, if it is possible, you can check all the built-in libraries, like the mostly used, okay, the common built-in libraries in those languages. No, what about HTML? No, HTML's those type of questions won't be there. Like it will be the questions will be based on it should be done, or the program questions will be like it can be done in any programming language. Okay, the questions will be like that. It is not related to web or something. It is just the uh, like the basic codes. Okay, basic means it is not the simple ones, but using the data structures or something like that, it will be like that. Okay, it won't be related to the web. Okay, so HTML code cannot be written. You can, yeah, application level questions. Okay, so there will be just a few tips, I mean few information, like there will be, actually you have already got the mail yesterday regarding this, like there will be 3 questions. Okay, so all the 3 questions are mandatory. After you write the code, it is in HackerRank, so you need to create an account. If you don't have an account, please create a new account in HackerRank, and you can, yeah. Yes, we can use the language, okay. Or for different questions, you can choose different language also, because it is not set for the entire hackathon. We are setting it for different questions, the language preference. Okay, so you can choose any language for any question. And you are not supposed to search in internet or copy the code from the internet. If there is any plagiarism, we will just we won't evaluate it. Okay, then also if you are using Java, for example, if you are using Java for tomorrow's test, today just check which are the built-in functions which may be used in all this, or which are the data structures available. Then how can you optimize the code in Java? Like that, you can just go for the tutorials today. Okay, so then built-in libraries, the built-in functions, all those things you can check. Okay, so the questions are, there will be the space given to write the code. You can write the code there itself, and then after writing the code, you can run your code. So when you run the code, there will be at least 3 test cases given. So these 3 test cases will be run, and you will get the result of those test cases. Okay, only 3 test cases which are sample. So you will get the result of those test cases. If the test case is passed or failed, you will get that information. So if the test case is failed, you check why it is failed in your code, and you can just correct your code. After that, after passing all these 3 sample test cases, you can submit your code. Okay, submit your code. So when you submit your code, that code will be final, and the backend, I mean, there will be hidden test cases set. So the hidden test cases will be run at the time. Okay, after you submit your code, when you submit your code, the hidden test cases will be run, and the result of that testing you can see. But which are the test cases or why it is wrong, that you won't get. Okay, only that how many test cases are passed or how many test cases failed, only those information will be visible to you. Okay, so if any hidden test cases failed, you just think what are the different kinds of criteria, I mean different criteria you can give for the input values. Okay, and there will be some the criteria will also be given, like the range of the input values or the type of the input values, like that. It will be given in the question itself, along with the question itself. So you can read that again and then make your code perfect. Okay, I mean make sure that you have done all the all the checkings for making the input correct. Okay, the type of code, type of questions, how can I tell that? It will be like the application level questions, and if you want some examples, you can just go through the hackathon examples which is given in hackerrank.com. It will be similar to that, not that questions, but it will be similar to that. You can practice on that, hackerrank.com. Okay, you can do that. No. You won't lose the points for errors. It is not set like that. You won't lose the points for errors while running the sample test case. We can't say like that. Is it related to sorting and searching? No, we can't say that, right? It is specific question. I mean, it is specific to that particular question itself. Algorithms, yeah, algorithms base can be there. Like you can use any of the algorithms to make your code more optimized. I mean, more, I mean, faster. Okay, you can make use of the algorithms if you know about it. Account should be there in hackerrank.com. Okay, hackerrank. That's the platform where we are going to conduct it. So you can create it. Can we join with existing? Yeah, you can join with existing account. Okay, you get that link in that yesterday's mail. There is a link. You can click on that. You can see that it is redirected to a page, and in that page we have given all these rules. Okay, some rules are given there, and the general information is there. So you can check that also. Okay, and the context will be started from tomorrow. 3 o'clock is the starting time, and 6 is the ending time. So after 6, you are not supposed to or you can't submit your code. Okay. It's better if you have the same email address, and you should enter your name properly before you do the coding. I mean, start the hackathon. Just enter your name. Okay. It should not be like game lover like that. It's not. We are not. You are not supposed to do like that. Okay. Please give your registered name itself and the email also. Okay. Anything else? I think I have given you all the details. Like. Yeah.
Participants for joining us and wish you all a good luck. And actually, Miss, anything more to add?
Nothing, ma'am. It's very clear.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. And all the best participants. Thank you for joining us.
It's the end of the session. Participants, anytime you can contact through the phone if you have any doubt. Thank you, IPSR Solutions, for this wonderful time. Thank you so much.